3 wishes never quite works out the way you hope it will. It certainly didn't for the hero of Wilhelm Hauff's 19th century fairy tale, The Cold Heart, which is equal parts Brothers Grimm and Washington Irving.
The Fairy Tales with Liz.
Dings! Once upon a time, in Germany's Black Forest, lived a charcoal burner named Peter. Peter had inherited the job, and it didn't take many sooty hot days at the kiln before Peter had a realization.
This job sucks.
The forest was mostly made up of 2 communities, the glassmakers, who were fancy and worldly and foppish, and the timber folk, who were earthy and beefy and wore those slutty Saint Laurent boots that broke the internet a few months ago. Charcoal burners were the lowest of the timber folk, and Peter spent his sweaty days wishing he could party with the most respected men in town, the rat pack of the timber folk, if you will. Ezekiel, the richest, fattest gambler in town, the tall schlurker, who was a skinny mansplainer, though to be fair, he was an equal opportunity mansplainer, so I guess that just makes him a splainer. And the king of the ballroom, a local playboy and the best dancer in town. These guys were extremely unlikable, but they were also extremely rich, so... Lucky for Peter, the Black Forest had 2 hobgoblins known for granting wishes. The hobgoblin of the glassmakers was called the Glass Imp, and the hobgoblin of the timber folk was called Dutch Michael, which sounds like what a guy from Boston would call his friend from the Netherlands. Peter had more knowledge of the Glass Imp's lore. The imp would only appear to people born on a Sunday between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., and only appear if you chanted his special summoning verse. Peter had the right birthday, and remembered most of the rhyme.
Keeper of wealth in the forest's pine. Hundreds of years are surely thine. Thine is the tall pine's dwelling place.
But he was a little hairy on the last line.
So, throw some money at my face. Please increase this guy's tax base. Make my wallet jingle post-haste. Wait. Is that you, Glass Imp?
It wasn't. It was a weird-ass, shape-shifting squirrel. A squirrel with the head of a man. No, wait, it was a normal squirrel. Wait, it was a normal squirrel wearing red tights and shiny black shoes? It did all these things. It flirted with Peter. It was a fucking weird squirrel. Since the Glass Imp was a bust, why not go to Dutch Michael, you ask? I'll tell you why, because he's evil! Dutch Michael will make you rich, but he'll also claim your soul, and you'll live a life of depravity. In fact, that rat pack I mentioned was rumored to have gotten their swankified life with Dutch Michael's help. If you're wondering what the German had against the Dutch in the 19th century, I sure don't know. Sound off. Anyway, Dutch Michael showed himself to Peter one day.
Let me cut to the chase, Pete. You're poor. I can make you rich. You keep trying to contact the Glass Imp to fill your pockets, but trust me, that guy's a glass hole. All his riches come with stipulations and regulations. Me? You get a lifetime of riches, no questions asked.
But what do you get in return?
Did I say I'd require anything in return?
It just seems weird that you would offer me a lifetime of riches with no catch.
Could you just call me weird?
I gotta go. Dutch Michael chased Peter down, but he couldn't catch him, thanks to a magical, nope, not a squirrel, a magical rooster! That is a strange fairy tale motif that also pops up in Hans my Hedgehog. Peter had run so long and so far, he found himself back in front of the Glass Imp's tree.
Keeper of wealth in the forest of pine. Hundreds of years are surely thine. Thine is the tall pine's dwelling place. Oh! Those born on Sunday see your face.
You know what? Close enough.
Hey, how you doing? I'm the glass guy. I sent that rooster to kick Dutch Michael's butt. Thanks a lot. Man, I am so glad you're here. Listen, being a charcoal burner is terrible. I just feel like I'm suffering all day, and it's not even profitable. And then every day I gotta pass by Ezekiel and the king of the ballroom and, the skinny guy, and I'm like, why can't my life be more like theirs?
You want to be like those shit stains? Peter, you work a good job, you have a great heart, and you live an honest life.
But I'm miserable. If I were a glassmaker, at least I would make some more money. Then I'd have an easier time at things.
You mortals always want what you don't have, and I swear it's going to be the end of you. But since you summoned me, and since you were born during my Sunday office hours, I can grant you 3 wishes. But I get to revoke the 3rd wish if you waste your first 2 on frivolous desires. So wish
carefully. My first wish is to always be as rich as Ezekiel is and to dance better than the king of the ballroom.
Peter, what did I just tell you about frivolous wishes?
Oh, are dancing and gambling frivolous?
You know what? I like you, Peter. I'll give you the third wish, if you make the second one more sensible.
Okay. I wish to have a glass-making factory that has all of the supplies I could need for the job and makes enough profits for me to live very well.
Okay, that's not bad, but I'm gonna let you mulligan it a little bit, because you're gonna need something else to make that whole glass-blowing thing work for you. The factory, the supplies, the profit, and
a horse and carriage.
Peter! A horse and carriage? A thing you could easily buy with the profits from the factory? You should have asked for the skills of a glassmaker. How can you run a successful factory in an industry you know jack shit about?
Oh, yeah. I want that.
No, too late. I am withholding that third wish for now because you need to learn some life lessons, bud. Peter got his factory, and even though he couldn't blow glass into anything other than a blob, the place did well enough. But what Peter loved was partying with the Rat Pack. No matter how much he gambled, he always had as much money in his pockets as Ezekiel. And he soon ousted the king of the ballroom from his position once he showed off his magically enhanced talent. Peter remained more generous than his new friends, however. He gave away a lot of money to the poor, remembering how difficult his prior life had been. He's a good guy in his heart. Then the factory dried up, because Peter had no idea how to run the place. His gambling wish kept him afloat for a little while, but Ezekiel was now losing more money, and when his pockets ran dry, so did Peter's, because Peter had specifically wished to always have as much money as Ezekiel had in his own pockets, which is just way too specific of a wish, although sometimes you can be too general. Wishes are complicated. Debt collectors now thronged to Peter's door, and his factory and home went into foreclosure. His mother had to move into a poorhouse. Things were bleak, and guess who showed up the minute Peter was at his lowest?
You look like you could use a big hearty meal and a tall glass of wine. Come on to my house, man. I'll fill your belly and then some.
Where's your house?
Oh, you take a right at that tree, jump into the mile-deep ravine, take my hand, and then it's just past the Earth's mantle into the Earth's bowels. Oh, you know, it's actually right where the old JCPenney used to be.
Dutch Michael provided a generous meal to Peter, and he got the guy venting about his financial woes. Peter confessed how badly his heart ached to be a respected, wealthy man.
Well, there's your problem. Your achy, breaky heart is bringing you down. Not only that, it's making you way too generous. You're squandering your wealth on people who are only going to squander it on useless bullcrap. Tell you what, I'll give you the wealth and status you desire, and all you give me in return is that big old softy heart. Yeah, one thing, if I give you my heart, I'll die. No, I got a prosthetic heart that'll fit in there just fine, keep you operating. And I'm gonna keep your safe for you. I'm gonna put it with my collection. Here, let me show you. Okay, that one belongs to that Ezekiel you're so jealous of, and, there's the ballroom dancer you're obsessed with for some reason. Yeah, I got some Astors, some Vanderbilts in there. Anyway, I'll put your heart in a jar, keep it here safe with the collection, and you'll have a stone one in its place. You'll not only live and be rich and have immense status, you won't be such a f***ing pushover, dude.
From that day on, Peter had plenty, but he was a cold, emotionless prick. He refused any charity, excepting his own mother, and even she only got one stingy coin from him if she came begging. Not only that, absolutely nothing could move him. Jokes? No. Cute babies? No. Puppies? No. A double rainbow? Nothing moved his stone heart. He was aware of this, and he tried traveling the world to see if that would do anything for him, but no, it didn't. So he visited Dutch Michael to see if his stone heart could, warm up a little.
Make me feel things again. Best I can do is give you more money and unsolicited advice. Settle down, marry some tasty piece of ass, and invest those dollar bills.
Peter took the money and the advice, and he met a beautiful woman named Elizabeth. Yes, thank you, thank you. And they married. Elizabeth was as generous as she was gorgeous. Yes, you're welcome, you're welcome. But Peter wouldn't let her donate a cent. Elizabeth followed her husband's instruction, which gave her a miserly reputation as well. One day, a decrepit old man showed up at their door, and Elizabeth couldn't resist giving him food and drink. Peter caught her in the act, and he was so angry he struck her head with the hard handle of his whip. Elizabeth fell down dead into the old man's arms. Yes, R.I.P. R.I.P. Elizabeth.
What the is wrong with you, Peter?
Where did you come from?
I was the beggar man this whole time.
Oh, you gonna tell on me?
I don't have to tell a goddamn thing. Speaking of, God saw all that. He's seen every miserable thing you've done. You sold your heart to Dutch Michael, didn't you?
Well, if I did, it's because of you twisting my wishes from your high horse. Suddenly, the glass imp grew in size, towering over Peter. His eyes were as big as soup plates, and fire spewed from his enormous mouth. He picked up Peter by the scruff of his neck and threw him back on the ground.
If your wife wasn't such a gem, I'd kill you now, you son of a bitch. You get 1 week to repent. If you do, you get your third wish. And if you don't, I come back here and curb stomp you.
At the end of 1 week, Peter hadn't really repented, but he did realize he needed his beating human heart back if he had any hope of repenting. He returned to the glass imp's tree and summoned him with the rhyme.
You're not looking very repentant to me. I can't repent. I have a heart of stone, so I want to use my third wish to get my heart back. Unfortunately, I have no power over that. You traded your heart to Dutch Michael, now you have to get it back. But I'll tell you a secret. Dutch Michael is a stupid dum-dum head. If you can trick him into giving back your heart, then you can use a glass cross, I'll supply it to you, and that thing will send him back to his maker.
It was pretty easy for Peter to trick Dutch Michael.
I don't believe any of those hearts you have in jars are real. I can feel my heart right now beating in my chest.
Are you calling me a liar?
I'm gonna put that heart back in your chest, and you'll see the obvious difference.
Woo! Yeah, you're right. That is a real heart.
Good. Now give it back. I'm not gonna do that, but you can choke on this glass cross, bitch!
No!
As soon as Peter had his heart back, well, he basically broke down because he now felt the repercussions of all the terrible ways he'd behaved with his stone heart. He bawled and bawled under a pine tree, and he was feeling pretty damn bleak.
How are you feeling now, Peter?
Terrible! I killed my wife. I left my own mother to starve. I have so much money and I refuse to share it. There is nothing left for me. My life may as well end right here.
Well, I just so happen to have an axe and I can help you out with that. Or I could bring your wife back from the dead.
What?
Here she is, your wife and your mother. They're alive. They're fine. They forgive you. 'Cause you repented. Now, if you want it to stick, you're going to have to go back to your old life as a charcoal burner. Yeah, you'll be working paycheck to paycheck, but you won't be such a dickhead anymore.
Wow, that's really amazing. Oh, wait, what about my third wish?
I just brought your wife back from the dead. Would you prefer a different wish, turds for brains?
You know what? I'll keep the wife. Peter brought his wife and mother back to his old shack. They found the shack had been transformed into a modest but sturdy farmhouse. The family lived there happily, and within a year, Peter and Elizabeth had a son. Peter invited the glass imp to be the child's godfather.
You know, Pete, I got this, cute elf thing happening, but I'm actually not a huge fan of kids. How about I just throw some money at your face instead?
Honestly, I do the same thing. From that day forth, Peter lived modestly and was grateful for what little he did have. 'Cause that's how they want us poor folk to feel. Grateful with what we have, goddammit. The end. Thanks to my follower, Antonia, for requesting this tale. Antonia? Sorry if I got it wrong. Feel free to request your own story in the comments, or you could pop over to my Patreon. Free members get occasional updates and behind-the-scenes info, so signing up for the free tier is totally a good idea to do. If you can be a paid member, you get access to my extra content, like the podcast. And, oh yeah, don't forget about my book, because it's here! You can get my book! You can get my book, The Fairy Tales, and oh, I want you all to have it!